What's the four-letter F word you're not going to hear Andrew Scheer mention on the campaign trail anytime soon? With the Premier down in the polls, the federal Conservative leader hasn't even been mentioning him by name. It was a cabinet meeting here at Queen's Park today, and we wanted to ask the four cabinet members what they think about the federal election. Federal elections on. I'm wondering, are you canvassing for any Conservatives?
No, I'm not, actually.
Obviously, I'm supporting Andrew Scheer.
Minister Scheer was here less than a year ago, shaking hands with the Premier, smiling with the Premier. Now he won't even say his name. Do you find that odd?
Look, this is a federal election.
I think that the federal election will be the federal election, and my focus and the Premier's focus will be in the province of Ontario.
As a minister in this government that won 76 seats last year, how do you feel about Mr. Scheer not even wanting to utter Mr. Ford's name?
You know, I'm gonna respect the decision of the federal leaders. I mean, I appreciate it as an election.
Other ministers didn't want to stop to chat at all.
Minister, just give us a moment. Cabinet meeting has not even started, Minister.
It's a tough spot for both Conservative parties to be in. The vote-rich 905, flush with ridings held by Ford's government, is a must-win for Scheer. But Ford has become more of a liability than a help to the federal PC leader, which is likely why I couldn't get Scheer to say a single word about the Premier during a campaign stop here in Toronto last month. I'm wondering if you could share with us your thoughts on how you think Doug Ford has done as Premier of Ontario, sir.
Others can pass judgment on other levels of government. My focus is bringing my positive message to Canadians across this country.
At an event this past June, Ford said he was planning to steer clear of the election campaign.
I'm not going to get involved in the federal election, and we're going to continue working hard for the people of Ontario.
But the Liberal leader has been all too happy to invoke Ford and the Premier's slogans in his campaign ads.
The Conservatives like to say they're for the people, but then they cut taxes for the wealthy and cut services for everybody else.
It's likely why the Premier's inner circle today didn't want to say much at all about the federal campaign.
Oh, I mean, listen, Andrew's out on the campaign trail. He's doing what he's got to do. You know, he's campaigning, we're governing.
As for the Premier himself, well, he was brought in a side entrance here at Queen's Park today, avoiding the media and any questions about Andrew Scheer. Outside the legislature, Richard Southern, City News.